Alright guys, this is Killjoy again, and you're here at Killjoy's place. So today, I'm sorry about the noise, I'll get away from that. Today, I'm wanting to do a new settlement build. I started a new character recently, I wanted to try out the survival mode. So I started a new one, I'm doing more of a lone survivor, few friends type thing. I care about numero uno and only numero uno, which is me. And but I'm not someone who is very aggressive. I'm not a jerk. But if it comes down to it, I would care about myself more than others. Does that make sense? That's the character I'm making on this one. If you guys haven't gotten it so far, I do like to kind of role play my character. I create a design, I get an idea for a character, and that's what I do. But since I'm doing that, I don't have any crazy sanctuary build. I have a red rocket build. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but this is in survival mode, so I had to make sure that I was able to survive. And to do that, if you guys don't know what this difference is, when you're doing survival mode, it makes life 100 times harder. Not only do you have to eat and drink and sleep, but it also makes it where your enemies now do like massive amounts of damage. And you can contract diseases and all kinds of other things. So survival mode is really hard, but there are also a few upsides. One of them is the fact that you also do increased damage. It makes it a whole lot more realistic. Another one of the downsides I just remembered is the fact that your carry weight is reduced. So everything becomes so much harder. That said, I do have a few mods installed. I know I usually don't do mods, but I do. I have a few mods. Um, they are not game breaking or game changing. I've got one that makes the armor for dog meat actually do something. It adds an armor rating and weight depending on which armor it is, corresponding to that armor, which makes a lot of sense to me because it made no sense before that they were just aesthetics. Two, I have one that changes the gun animations in first person. Usually, whenever you have your gun out, the only time it goes to the side is if you did like a third person view and then you came back into it or something like that. And usually when you ran, it looked like you were ready to shoot up the place. And it always looked terrible. And so what this mod does is when I start to walk, my gun goes to the side. And it stays to the side. When I need to shoot, I quickly can tap it and go into this mode or that. So it's really nice. I also have a mod installed that changes the sounds of the bullets. So again, not game breaking. And I have two other mods. One makes it where you can build infinitely on settlements. And the last mod I have installed changes the way water looks. It makes it a lot more realistic and doesn't just make all the water more clear. It makes certain water, like these puddles, since these puddles would sit here and stay stagnant and get nasty, they are a darker, more murky water. But a super clean and clear water, such as this river, looks clean and clear. Look at this. This looks amazing. It looks like a clean and clear water. I mean, it's amazing. I just love it. It makes the game so much more realistic because it is now a clean and clear water. Whereas it's crisp, it looks like a river would look. Especially 200 years after a nuclear apocalypse. The water would run clean eventually. But I mean, if you look like all these puddles, they're murky. Used to, they were just shiny spots. Now they're actually murky puddles. There's a real good one in Concord that I'll show you real quick. and then we'll get back to the build. I just thought I'd let you guys know, and I do have a few of the Creation Club things. I know there's debate about it. I like it because it's, you know, official, and it's kind of like just like add-ons, you know. But see how this water is real murky. It just, you know. Anyways, if you can't tell, I've got the backpack on. That's almost mandatory for survival mode because this backpack adds like 45 pounds, which doesn't sound like much, but on a normal game you can carry like 300 pounds. When you turn on survival, you can carry 100, depending on what your strength is. It's like 100 to start out, and then like your strength adds 10 each time, which, you know, makes it where at your best you can carry 100 or 200 pounds. So that's pretty terrible. You know, it sucks. And so having an additional 45 pounds you can carry is amazing. So I've got that one. I've got the Tesla coil, and I've got the I think it's called the Hellfire Power Armor. I have yet to get those, mainly because this is survival mode, and again, almost anything will and can and will kill me. So I try not to get in many fights. That said, here's my base. If you can't tell, it's got a wall around it. I do these on almost every settlement because they're easy. They look okay. I mean, they're not the best walls. They're what they are. They're fences. They just keep the riffraff out. But let's get in. If you notice, my doors are not the typical door. These are powered doors and pressure plates. Works both ways. Makes it as efficient and easy as possible. I have two doors. I have that one. There's one of the two settlers that live here. And I have this one. That way I can get in and out no matter which way I go. And during combat I can quickly flick this off. And now the pressure plates do not work. So I can flick that one off, and I can flick off this one right here on this door. And that will make it where nothing can come in, period. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. I am still running into this problem here, where the spotlights turn off when I load the game. Like, they're still running, and they still provide all the benefits, but the light isn't working. I hate that. But I've got two spotlights here, two turrets here. Give a little support for the front door, and I kept a lot of the stuff. Usually I go through and I clean out a location. This, I wanted to make it look like I had kind of moved in, but I hadn't completely changed the place. See, I have that there. I'm trying to do a lot more stuff to where make the settlements look more realistic, nonetheless, you know. I kept several things in here. I did not change everything. Got my power armor. I'm only a level 12, so I'm not like the highest level yet, but this is what I've got done so far. So I've got my parts. This is my food that I have cooked up. Here's where I put my water and my Nuka-Cola. My magazine rack. Again, I have not done much exploring. I literally did the Concord mission, then I went to Diamond City very briefly, and then came home, and I really haven't done much. I've got that. I've got all my stim packs right away and antibiotics. Antibiotics are very valuable in survival because if you get sick, it's either that or go to a doctor. I've got Nuka grenades, which I got from a the this place. Anyways, I've got my food, my meats that need to be cooked up. And if you notice, I kept these crates. They make it look a lot more realistic, a lot more, the way it would. This is my room. Came in. This is my alcohol stash, guys. This is where I'm keeping the Brotherhood of Steel holo tags because I'm doing a Brotherhood of Steel run. This is my miscellaneous stuff. Clothes. That's, how it always goes with me. You guys should know that if you've seen any of my other builds. I always have a suitcase and a footlocker. So, if you can't tell, this place has... I think I broke down and built one small generator just because I did not have capabilities to build any more of these things without having to rebuild the whole system. And I desperately needed it if I wanted my doors to work. I put this thing as access to the roof, and I didn't want to do anything inside of it, so I actually put junk here, and I think it looks wonderful. Eventually I'm going to do something with it. I just don't know yet. I got a cow. I want to say a couple because I see two heads, but I have a cow. I'll get into this real quick. This is where the two settlers live. Not half bad little place. They got pretty much everything that they could need at desperate moment. Eventually I'll get to the roof. I left this car. I tried to leave the semi, but I was having some trouble before. I had not yet installed the mod that lets me build as much as I want. If you notice, I made sure the wires all line up to how they should. It looks like it's going through there. Up here I have another spotlight and another turret watching this door. And then on this side, dog meat, get off that pressure plate. I've got another turret and spotlight. Right there is a trap I put up just to help add a little extra more defense. And if anything decides it's going to run around from here to try to get to that door, it has another thing coming, because these, when you stand on them, do that. There is a way through, and it's right there. But otherwise, you get massively damaged. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I actually took a lot of damage from that. Okay, this is like my little outdoor hangout area. I love this thing. If you look closely, you'll notice these lights are actually suspended in the air. That's a clipping error. But from like here, it looks fine. It looks wonderful. I love it. I really do. I kept this car because I actually like it. I've got the little deal over it. Doghouse for dog meat. This is where all my food is cooked. A little... I mean, I made it look like we just gathered a bunch of junk and built this place. I mean, it's nice. I kept a lot of the stuff. And then this is how you get up to the roof. I put a trash bin here, and it works quite flawlessly. You can walk along this, and then up here. Up here is where I have my wind turbines and a terminal to help control pretty much everything. All of it, all the electricity runs through this thing, and this runs to this, which runs to here, which goes to there, which goes to that light pole, and that light pole. And the light poles act as my main hubs of all the electricity. So it all runs through that computer. If I tell that computer to say all switches need to be turned on or off, it will do it. And if I flick this off, everything goes down. Like, everything. All my electricity just shut off. And that powered it all back on again. So, it's pretty nice. Um, this is my rooftop garden. This is what provides the food. I love these because I can actually do this. And this is basically what I've got, guys. I got um, one worker up here harvesting foods, and I've got the other one. Hey, dog meat. I've got the other one working on this thing.
I lost track of how many blisters I got.
So that is my Red Rocket Station build. Oh, I just remembered. I've got one more mod installed, and it just basically unlocked all of the ballistic weave, which is one thing I'm wanting to do. I decided I'm going to get the ballistic weave on this outfit and the battered fedora. If you don't know what the ballistic weave is, it's basically like turns certain normal outfits into bulletproof outfits that I will quickly show you real quick. To give you an idea of how effective it is, this chest piece, this leather chest piece, which isn't the best, mind you, when it's fully upgraded, it gives you 10 ballistic damage, or damage resistance, and 20 energy damage resistance. Now, when I take this green shirt and combat boots and give it the best ballistic weave, it adds 110 ballistic resistance and 110 energy resistance. Now I think it was Oxhorn. He was a YouTuber that I watch a lot. He does a lot of Fallout lore. Check him out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But he did something over the ballistic weave where he tested it to where when you have a suit of ballistic weave and a full suit of Mach 2 combat armor, fully upgraded with a ballistic weave hat, you are wearing something that is the equivalent to a fully upgraded T-45 power armor, which is this stuff. That is ridiculous. I mean, that is fully ridiculous. You're talking about someone who can run around without having to worry about power cores or anything like that, can walk around with basically a simple suit of power armor. And then you add that onto the fact that once you put on some power armor, I'm not sure if it overlaps, but if it does, that's ridiculous. I mean, you're talking about something that is absurd. It's ridiculous. And you know, the fact that I now have it unlocked, I just have to get the materials and do it. I could have basically a suit of power armor on me at all times without having to have a suit of power armor. So, that's my build. Tell me, guys, what you think about it. Sorry I rambled a bit, and sorry my videos have been a bit slow. I should have uploaded a few videos today, or relatively recently. Just let me know what you guys think. If you like what I do, slap that like button. If you aren't currently subscribed and you're here, then either you're in the wrong place or you need to be subscribed. This is the stuff I do a lot. I do a lot of these builds, and I love them. So, tell me what you guys think. Slap that like button. Subscribe if you aren't. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you can be reminded every time another one of my videos comes out. Don't worry, it's not too often, but it is often enough to give you something new to watch. Alright guys, this is Killjoy out. See you on the next time around.